Hey everybody, welcome to Green Reviews. I'm going to start with a movie that came out in the mid-90s. It is one of the best animated films, in my opinion, of all time. We're going to be talking about Pixar's very first feature animated film, Toy Story. In Toy Story, the movie was released in 1995, was produced by Pixar Animation, and was released by Walt Disney Pictures. Back in the 90s, animated features like this with computer animation and CGI were not heard of at the time. Now, before I begin my review on the movie, I want to dive deep inside of Pixar animation, the history of it, shed some light on how Pixar became the huge conglomerate that it has become from today's perspective. Let's begin. Alright, Pixar Animation in the mid-80s was at first Industrial Light and Magic. This company was owned at the time by the great George Lucas, who we all know and love for the Star Wars series. After the Industrial Light and Magic, or from now on I'm going to refer to as ILM. ILM produced one of its very first fully three-dimensional characters of all time in a scene which I'm going to show to you right now in the early 80s film, or late 80s film, excuse me, Young Sherlock Holmes. Here's a clip of it right here. Alright, once Pixar Animation was purchased by this great man, which we all know as Steve Jobs, the head of Apple company at the time, Pixar worked very closely with John Lasseter. He's been such a huge inspiration in the animated film industry, not only in Pixar, but in the Walt Disney films in general. John Lasseter worked together and created what is now known as Pixar Animation. Pixar Animation would later on produce two of the best short films that have ever been completed by a film industry at its time. First one in particular is one of my favorites, and it has a good reason why. It was one of the very first CGI animated films that I've ever seen, besides Toy Story. Once Toy Story was brought out, I watched a short film of this. I thought it was just gorgeous. Here it is right here, Luxor Jr. Another film that was made was in 1989, and this movie was called Tin Toy. Tin Toy, which is a film I will be showing you right here, is a very interesting take on childhood and of toys at its time. Here it is. Okay, Luxor Jr. Luxor Jr., as you can see, it showed one of the more iconic figures in the Pixar animated Studios films, and you actually see a little ball with the star on it. And if you pay close attention to all the other films that were made after Toy Story, you will see this ball in that movie. Part 2, Part 3, all the other Pixar animated features. It is a little hint of how far Pixar has come at its time when Luxor Jr. and Tinny Toy was brought out. Tinny Toy was actually a cute film that I was later on introduced to. Tinny Toy was a story of a little metal drummer boy. Basically, he's trying to get, friendly with this little baby, a little infant. And you know how kids are. They like to be rough with their toys, throw them around. They don't know any better than that. But later on, they figure out, okay, this is something that we need to work on together. Okay, here we go. We're going to be talking about the movie Toy Story. In this movie, you have two of the more iconic voice actors, if not the best actors in the film industry alone. One of the characters, who is played by Tom Hanks, is actually a toy cowboy doll named Woody. And you got another character who is one of my favorites at the time, Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear was played by the voice of Tim Allen. Both iconic characters, and I cannot express how good of a film this is with the voice acting, with the other characters. You got Bo Peep, Ham, Slinky, Rex, Mr. Potato Head, R.L. Ermey, who played the sergeant. Okay, in this film, you got Woody and all of his other characters, except for Buzz Lightyear, who are preparing for their owner Andy's birthday party in this film. And once the birthday party is close to being done and over with, they find out there's a new toy, a new kid on the block, which was Buzz Lightyear. Once Buzz Lightyear was brought into the picture, you actually get an idea and a sense of how Woody becomes jealous of him. Not only because he's a new toy, he is a cool toy. He's got the cool astronaut space ranger outfit. He's got the buttons, the wings that pop out of his back. And not only that, he's getting all of the attention from his owner Andy and all of the other fellow toys that Woody is friends with. Woody becomes jealous of this and tries to come up with a plan to get rid of Buzz Lightyear, but there is a catch. Once he gets rid of him, he's ousted out of Andy's toy collection, and Woody needs to figure out how to get Buzz back to his home before Andy, his mom, and his baby sister move out of this house. The voice acting in this film is one of the best I have ever seen.
You are a toy! You are a child's plaything! You are a sad, strange little man.
Not only does Tim Allen and Tom Hanks do such a great job at the voice acting and getting the synchronization of the voice so well, but showing emotion and showing that these characters are real. They feel real. And not only that, the other characters like Ham, Mr. Potato Head, Slinky, Bo Peep, and all the other little sub-characters, they actually show their own personal traits and characterizations during the film. I don't know about you guys, but after 23 years of this film's release back in 1995, I absolutely love this film to this day. This film is so good. It has good storytelling. The actors are great. The atmosphere, the music, everything about it is just awesome. One thing I want to point out is one of the best things about this film is the music. And the music, I am not even kidding you, is one of the best I have ever heard, not only in film general, but in an animated film. The music in this film was completed by none other than the great Randy Newman. Randy Newman, if you've never heard of him, he is such an iconic character with the music industry. And when he was brought onto this film, I think it was something that was brought to life. And not only this film, but later films that were produced by Pixar and Walt Disney. Randy Newman brought to us such a great musical composure with awesome, gritty, and dark scenes, along with the humorous scenes, the sneaky scenes, all of that kind of stuff in this movie was so great with Randy Newman. Randy Newman, by the way, awesome for bringing to life one of the best songs ever. And to this day, whenever I hear this song in the beginning of this film, I think right away, Toy Story.
You saved the day again, Woody.
You're my favorite deputy.
You got a friend in me.
Not only was this film such a huge success, but in its 1995 release on November 22nd, this movie garnished $196 million in the domestic box office at its time, which was unheard of for a film animation, especially being the very first CGI animated film. The film itself garnished $358 million worldwide during its release, which was just awe-inspiring. Not only was this film a very, very great film, but it also inspired other films, other film companies to come up with their idea of, okay, what kind of animated movie can we make that is CGI, that is that good? How can we find something that's that good in the film industry? That's the kind of inspiration that Toy Story and Pixar, along with Walt Disney, have brought into our lives. The film was nominated for Best Animated Feature at its time, even though it didn't win. John Lasseter won an award for such an outstanding appreciation and well done job with helping Pixar Animation and creating such an iconic film in the 90s. Toy Story was an absolute success, and in my opinion, it's something that everybody should watch. Everybody should check this film out. You are going to love it. And not only that, your kids will love it. If you have any kids like I do, I have 3 little girls. They love this film, and we talk about it all the time. And it's just become something that, you know, it's a household name now, Toy Story. Right away, people think Buzz and Woody, Rex, Potato Head, all these iconic characters. It's become something of a norm now that you see these animated features that have been brought to life. How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek, Ice Age, and all the other smaller companies that are jumping on board for the animated features, which, you know, are maybe not as good. Something about Toy Story that brought all of these films to light. However, of course, ever since the 90s, you know, the CGI back then was just something that, okay, it's state of the art. We need to keep it that way and use it sparingly when we need to. Jurassic Park, for a prime example. The CGI in that film to this day, even though it has been made in the 90s, in my opinion, the CGI holds up to this day. No doubt about it on that. And not only that, Toy Story CGI in some scenes doesn't hold up very well, especially with the humans and the dogs, you know, but you gotta take this into consideration, man. In the 90s, the CGI was something that was unheard of, and it was the beginning of something great. Everybody starts from the beginning somewhere. Obviously, they're not gonna make all the ridiculous lifelike creatures like humans or even dogs or any other kind of animal. But with the CGI in this film, in the toys, they look and feel and act like toys. And that was something of a gem in this film. I highly recommend this film for you guys. And not only that, your children, you guys will enjoy it as much as I do. Maybe even more. I'm gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10. Guys, thank you so much for coming. And if you have any comments you'd like to post on this channel or in this review, please comment below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will have more movies coming, and including game reviews, maybe even game system reviews, but that is soon to come. If you like this video, hit the like button, and again, subscribe if you really enjoy this channel. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you for viewing this movie review. I'll catch you all next time. Later.